Dutch are missing. Didi Gregorius hitting a shade under 350 in the
camp.
And then, of course, that just bleeds into the next discussion about all the injuries in the World Baseball Classic. And I just think that when you suit up, it doesn't really matter if you're in Florida or Arizona in spring training, or if you're in Seoul or Tokyo in the WBC. When you suit up, you're competitive, you play hard, you want to win, and injuries are going to occur. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're playing, you take that risk.
Every day, if you read the MLB at Bat app, which I do to catch up with the baseball news, you see players really react to pitches like that because they're not accustomed these days to having pitches thrown inside. That really wasn't that close to Rosario.
High fly ball, not deep in left. Sams for out number 2.
Yeah, you read every day. Pitcher leaving with tightness in the tricep. Ian Desmond, unfortunately for the Rockies, got hit in the hand. He's going to miss some time, so you can get injured in a spring training game as well as in the World Baseball Classic.
So this is T.J. Rivera, who homered back in the second. At the time, it gave Puerto Rico a 3-2 lead. Rivera's home run back in the second. It's been scuffling, just 3 for 20 going into that at bat, but that his second home run and 5th RBI of this tournament.
Last time Puerto Rico scored, they have 9 hits. And of course, Edwin Rodriguez has had a very steady bullpen. Joe Jimenez, his setup man. I think getting into the 7th inning, he'd be happy with Jimenez. If they have the lead, they've got one of the best young closers around, Edwin Diaz. But again, they would like to, you pointed it out earlier, if they have a lead, they would like to get him in, pitch him in a situation where he kept his pitches under 30. Because if they go to the championship game, they want to be able to use him again. And they have to keep it under that level to do that.
1-2 to Rivera. Excuse me, swing, and it stays alive.
Yeah, Martis has been the best of the pitchers that have come in terms of to and fro, north and south, forward, backward, fastball, changeup. A lot of the pitchers that are side to side, it's a little easier for the hitter to get the barrel on those.
Well, he's 29. He's pitched around the world. And I would imagine that you learn a thing or two by doing that. Bouncing around a lot of different pitching coaches, learning from different pitchers. As Tom Stoifbergen begins to loosen for the Dutch. Left side, it's Simmons. And it's the first 1-2-3 inning of the night. We go to the 7th, semifinal number 1. Semi-final number 1 in Los Angeles. Puerto Rico and the Kingdom of the Netherlands even at 3 apiece as we go to the top of the 7th inning. It's been fun so far. Neither team wants to say goodbye to this WBC. Vladimir Valentin with a 2-run home run in the first. Puerto Rico infield, a cornerstone of this roster, 6 for 11 with a couple of home runs. And the Dutch bullpen, 4 scoreless innings. Speaking of bullpens, Joe Jimenez is out, third pitcher for Puerto Rico tonight. 22-year-old reliever in the Tiger system in his first WBC, and this his 3rd game. He'll face Sander Bogaerts, Jurickson Profar, and Vladimir Valentin in the 7th. Three runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Dutch. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Puerto Rico. Winner of this game moves on to Wednesday night here in LA. And they will face the winner of tomorrow night's semifinal number 2, Japan and the USA. Bogaerts was hit by a pitch in the first, came around to score on the Valentin home run. Walked in the 3rd and grounded out in the 5th. Well, Hector Santiago, the line complete on him, 3 1/3, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. What did you make of Santiago's night, Jim?
Well, he was very effective. You know, inside fastball, little changeup, screwball, low and away. So he got a nice break with that play at home plate. There's one on the inside corner. I think Simmons has had he's had the 2 at bats where he's, or rather Bogaerts, where I think a couple of the Dutch hitters like that have thought they had ball 4, started to first base. They're all strikes.
3-2 coming. Rips a base hit into left field. Well, we noted Bogaerts' struggles in the open. That's his 5th tournament hit in now 21 at-bats.
8th hit of the night for the Dutch. And got a pitch again. You see catchers' targets, and you see where the pitchers are, and you understand pitchers don't always hit that target. I think he's running a relay race. He's going to carry that bat around with him.
Well, he passes the baton to Jurickson Profar here with a runner on and nobody out in the top of the 7th, tie game. Profar is swinging a miss. Profar involved in one of the stranger plays you may ever see. A base hit in the first inning. A clean single. Throw came home because there was a runner on in front of Profar. Throw came home. Profar was happy to get the hit, turned around, rounded first base, looked at the first base dugout. He's bebopping around. Yadier Molina waited, threw the tag. Profar was retired.
You're being very kind. Strange.
Yes.
Careless.
You played 25 years in the big leagues. You can say that.
Well, anybody could say that. I don't know. Edwin Rodriguez saw something from the bench that he didn't like, and he's going to go to Claudio, the left-hander, right now with a 1-1 count in the middle of the at-bat.
He's already signaled down. That's going to do it for Jimenez. A pitching change here in LA. 3-3 in the 7th. Well, with a 1-1 count on the hitter Jurickson Profar, Edwin Rodriguez makes a change and goes to Alex Claudio, who is now pitching in his third game in this WBC. 25-year-old reliever with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, unusual move, as you see Claudio's numbers, because he's a kind of a funky left-hander, comes out of three-quarter. Now, of course, Profar can turn around, hit from the right side. So it's something, you know, Edwin's seen Joe Jimenez now for this whole World Baseball Classic, something he saw that he didn't like. And he said, regardless of lefty-righty, I got to make a move.
Well, the on-base plus slugging for Jurickson Profar against righties and lefties, there's a considerable difference. 496 on-base plus slugging against left-handed pitchers. Now the pitch out.
Wow. And then he puts him in a 2-1 count. So if you're thinking that way, you'd think you'd make the move right at the start of the at-bat.
496 against lefties, 718 against righties in that OPS. Well, 2-1 now.
Another reason that Edwin may have made that move, I saw that quick little move from Claudio. He might, you know, figure that Claudio, being a left-hander, has a better chance of keeping the base runner close at first. Oh. I don't know if he guessed or it was like a 9-1-1 swing. Oops. All of a sudden at the last minute, let me take a wave at that.
Bogart's the runner on at first. He singled off of Joe Jimenez. Now Alex Claudio, second pitcher of the inning. Hard hit ball to Rivera. Throws to second for one. Back to first and out. A double play.
Wow, what a play by Rivera and by Lindor. Watch this off-balance throw. Nice play from the knees. Gets it to Lindor in a hurry. He has to reach for it. And a strong arm. Let's see if Profar just a little bit hesitant getting out of the bag, and that's all it took. I mean, he did what he was trying to do. He wanted to hit it the other way, and he just hit it right at Rivera. Made a great play and throw from his knees, and then Lindor's strong arm got Profar at first. Great double play.
And now Vladimir Valentin takes one inside. A ball and no strikes. Valentin hit a long home run in the first inning. His fourth of the tournament. And now 2-0 to the power threat, Vladimir Valentin. Seventh double play turn by Puerto Rico in this World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I would think if Valentin is going to do any damage, you saw Molina's target. I think they're going to take several pops at that outside corner and not let him pull the ball.
Well, he goes the other way with it through the right side.
Take what they give you. Good hitting.
Right. His third hit of the night. A home run and a double to go along with that single.
You see the target. Anything inside, he's got that great power, but also the ability to go with the pitch. He's been more than just a power hitter in this World Baseball Classic. His average is up there, too.
We don't see that too often at the big league level. The guys with the massive power who take the big swings, who are okay with just shooting one through the other side, especially if they're going to swing the infield around a little bit, as Scope is able to check his swing. Valentin, signed by the Mariners out of Curacao in 2000. Played 170 big league games with the Mariners and Reds between 2007 and 2009. He's made a name for himself. And I would think, made a pretty good living in Japan the last few years. He leads off the first in this semifinal, tied at 3 in the 7th. 2-0 to Scope. Just off the edge, 3-0.
Again, Molina set up just a little outside, didn't get that call. Interesting to see if Bam Bam turns him loose here on 3-0. Wouldn't surprise me. And that's a good take. You know, if you get the hit sign on 3-0, you have that little area. Hitters call it keyhole. I'm going to look for that pitch middle in. If it's not there, I'm going to take it.
Still a hitter's pitch on the way. 3-1 to Scope. Chop to third. On the run, Correa. Inning over. The Dutch strand one in the 7th. 3-3.
Yo sé lo que son los encantos de mi Borinquen hermosa, por eso la quiero yo tanto, por siempre la llamaré preciosa. Yo sé de sus hembras trigueñas, sé del olor de sus rosas, eso a mi tierra riqueña, por siempre la llamaré.
Back here in Los Angeles, a look at Sunset Boulevard, just down the road from Dodger Stadium, and the championship round of the 2017 World Baseball Classic. Semifinal number 1 moves to the bottom of the 7th inning. A good one here tonight, 3-3. Paul Severino, Jim Cott with you. This has been a real fun few weeks, and it continues tonight into the bottom of the 7th of a tie game. Winner gets the winner of Japan and the U.S. tomorrow night, Wednesday, the championship game in the 2017 WBC. Tom Stoifbergen is the 4th pitcher of the night for the Kingdom of the Netherlands, 28-year-old, appearing in his 4th WBC. Pitched in 4 games over the first 3 tournaments, and now this his 3rd game in 2017 as he throws one in the dirt to Raymond Fuentes. 9-1-2 due up for Puerto Rico. Fuentes, Pagan, and Lindor.
All left-hand hitters or switch hitters. Stoifbergen, you mentioned 28 years old. He's been here before. Twins actually signed him. Then he had a shoulder injury, and what's enabled him to come back as an effective pitcher is his pitching coach, Bert Blyleven. The Dutch master had one of the best curveballs in all of baseball. And he showed Stoifbergen how to throw that pitch. There's Rico, born in Zeist, Holland, threw out ceremonial first pitch tonight along with Carlos Delgado.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Nice live fastball, nice approach. Boy, there was no hesitation in there. Coming right at you. Here it is. Hit it if you can. Nice late movement at the end. Oh, we knew it would come down to the bullpens. And I think Edwin Rodriguez feels pretty good about his. He's going to have Colon coming in probably in the 8th inning, hoping they get a lead. And then Diaz for the 9th. There's Carlos Delgado.
Well, hey, don't sleep on one of the weapons the Dutch has added for this round as well. Dodgers closer Kenley Jansen looms. So if they can get a lead at some point, figure you'd see Kenley Jansen come out of that pen. But you got to get the lead first.
Yeah, Hensley and Bert said Jansen will pitch tonight, but I think the challenge for him will be you don't want to bring him into a tie game. So you'd rather hold him off until you have the lead. You bring him into a tie game and the Dutch don't score, and then you do take the lead. Now you've lost the guy to really shut down the game. That's the thinking that a manager has to go through. There's Kenley. We saw him first in the 2009 Classic. He was a catcher, switch hitting catcher.
Nicely played by Bogarts at third, 2 away.
I've seen a nice display from these star infielders we've talked about. You know, I mean, not that that was a real difficult play, but still it had a little irregular hop to it, but Bogarts played it very smoothly. Like Correa, accustomed to playing shortstop and not third.
So it's Francisco Lindor, who doubled and scored in the first, grounded out in the third, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. And now tests Simmons over there at short. He bobbles it. And it's not an easy play. No. And still Simmons wishes. He says, my bad.
Yeah,
there's a handful of people who could have made that play.
Disappointed, but that was some stop. I mean, that ball was hit sharply. Watch out. Simmons moves to his left, back dives, backhands, and now just trying to get a handle on it, get it out of the glove. He knows he has to do that in a hurry with Lindor's speed. But what a great play, just getting at it. Slides, comes up in a throwing position, nothing to throw. I don't know if I'd take the blame for that.
No.
The degree of difficulty was pretty well up the scale.
Well, my guess is you don't get to be that good without thinking that anything hit in your area code should be an out.
High expectations.
Yeah. Well, it goes down as an infield single. And now Carlos Correa.
Yeah, now you got a real challenge because you got a base stealing threat, represents the lead run. At first, you're going to pay a little attention to him, but you better pay more attention to the guy at the plate.
Lindor was 19 of 24 last year in stolen base attempts. So they are sure to keep a close eye on him. Well, let's take you back to the first. Carlos Correa hit a missile.
Got a hanging curveball for Rick Vandenhert. And that matched the monster shot Valentin had hit in the top of the first.
Just an immense talent for the Houston Astros and Team Puerto Rico. Was the MVP of pool play in Miami. This one down the right field line, the foul.
Good job by Streufbergen there. You know, you have to come to a set for a second, and the way to keep base runners close is vary your time. Well, as soon as he came set, boy, he delivered it. He got on Correa a little quicker than he anticipated. Didn't give Lindor much of a chance to get a base stealer's lead.
Two outs here in the seventh. There have been 6 runs scored in this game, 4 of them with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss, 1 and 2, and Correa says, calm down.
Good live fastball. I mean, Streufbergen comes right at you. A little bit up in the zone or out of the zone.
Ball and 2 strikes. Broken bat to short. Simmons makes the play. We move to the 8th at Dodger Stadium, tied at 3.
Preciosa te llaman las olas del mar que te baña. Preciosa por ser un encanto, por ser un Edén. Y tienes la noble hidalguía de la madre España y el fiero cantío del indio bravío lo tienes también. Preciosa te llaman los bardos que cantan tu historia. No importa el tirano te trate con negra maldad. Preciosa serás sin banderas, sin lauros ni gloria. Preciosa, preciosa, te llaman los hijos de la libertad. Preciosa te llaman los bardos que cantan tu historia. No importa el tirano te trate con negra maldad. Preciosa serás sin banderas, sin lauros ni gloria. Oh, preciosa, preciosa, te llaman los hijos de la libertad. Preciosa te llevo dentro, muy dentro de mi corazón. Y mientras más pasa el tiempo, en ti.
Over 1 million fans who have been inside the yards worldwide over the last few weeks. Wow. Great showing for this 2017 WBC as we move to the top of the 8th. We also saw a note on there about all the close games that there have been too. I mean, those 1 million fans have been treated to some fun baseball. Sean Zaraga chops one to short. Lindor, one away.
This one has had more action on the base paths than most of the close ones we've done. Just a 3-3 game, but 19 hits. Puerto Rico has 10. Netherlands 9.
Urandel de Castro takes a called strike. He struck out in his last trip in the 6th. He's also grounded out and flown out. The number 7 hitter and first baseman for the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Big swing and a miss, 0-2.
Good change. Pitchers today, fastball, changeups, the best combination you can have. You see the hitter lift his leg. Once he lifts his leg, he can't stop. So that off-speed pitch is apt to fool him a lot more than a slider or a curve.
Tries to take a little more off of that one at 62 miles an hour. Tapped it foul to stay alive.
See, he gets him way out on that front foot with that off-speed pitch. I think that's 3 in a row, and it kind of check where Molina moves here. Then sometimes they try to run that fastball in on the hands after all the off-speed pitches. Nope, going out there again.
And DeCaster serves one through the right side for a base hit.
Nice hitting like Ballantine the last inning. 2 strikes, you're in a protective mode. They went outside again, and he said, I'll try to take what you give me. Good at bat.
Just off the end of the bat. And a 1-out single for DeCaster as Edwin Rodriguez comes out, and he will make a change. We're tied at 3 in the 8th of the first semifinal in LA.
Se vuelca mi amor, porque ahora es que comprendo, que aunque pase lo que pase, yo seré puertorriqueño, por donde quiera que ande, oh, porque lo llevo en la sangre, por herencia de mis padres, y con orgullo repito.
Back in 2013, the Kingdom of the Netherlands was in this exact same spot in the semifinals of the WBC. Dominican Republic notched the win, their 7th. They would go on to win the whole thing. Ahead run on with one away in the 8th.
Well, it's we have not seen. Of course, the Dutch have not run the bases very well at all. They'd be 3 runs up if they had, but we've not seen a lot of running. We see Puerto Rico steal a lot of bases, but this is certainly a hit and run count late in the game if you're trying to get the lead run to second base.
All their guys have gotten on base, 8 of them with a hit. Strike 2.
Only 2 stolen bases in the tournament, so got by with a hanging breaking ball right there, but you can kind of see Smith grimace and say, wow, I should have taken a hack at that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Mentioned the 7.20 ERA for Cologne last year. That was with the Cleveland Indians, but in AAA, much more effective at 0.82 in 22 innings pitched. That's what Puerto Rico is hoping for tonight. That guy. Jam shot to second. Tag. The throw. Double play. That's Javier Baez.
Yeah. Another base running mistake. You don't run into the tag, you get in the rundown.
No, pues de fiesta. Tienen que estar volviendo loco allá y me alegro que disfruten allá todo lo que puedan, que esto es una cosa bien especial y que pues disfruten lo más que puedan.
De Puerto Rico, and the unified welterweight champion of the world, Rico.
Well, another violation of base running 101. Slow hit ball if you're the base runner. Watch Lindor's coming in on the now yet base runner stop right there and force him to either go.
Well, these two teams are even on the scoreboard, and even just about any way you slice this game. 3 runs, 10 hits, 3 extra base hits, and 2 double plays turned. 8 inning and 2-2. This is a fly ball, little looper, and it's going to fall into right field. So Carlos Beltran has his second hit of the night.
Rob Ballantine, known more as a designated hitter. Again, this had too much hang time. You see him in your picture now. He's going to kind of let up right there. No chance for Scope to get it. That's a right fielder's ball, but he's got to be sprinting in all the way. And now Edwin Rodriguez will go to his bench and get a little more speed on the bases.
Kike Hernandez will take over at first. He, of course, gets a big hand here in Dodger Stadium. 25-year-old utility player for the hometown Dodgers.
And Puerto Rico has the right guy at the plate. Yadier Molina has made we know about his catching ability. He has made a lot of improvement as a hitter going the other way. So Edwin Rodriguez has some options here. You can bunt, or you can trust that Molina can hit the ball the other way and advance the runner, and he might even get a base hit through the hole over there.
Yadier Molina, a .345 hitter with runners on base. He squares to bunt, pops it up over the netting, and it's 0-1. Tom Stoifbergen out for his second inning of work. How has it played out when a pitcher goes out, throws, gets an out or two in one inning, sits down, comes back out? Pitchers haven't fared too well. They've been getting lifted for pinch relief pitchers. Again popped up, and this time caught. Wow.
Let's see where the bat was. Yeah, just didn't have it quite out in front of the plate. Good pitch by Stoifbergen, too. That's the toughest pitch to bunt, is the one upstairs. So the Dutch got what they wanted. I noticed as soon as that ball was caught, Edwin Rodriguez flashed a sign to Joe Espada over at third base. So let's see if the bunt didn't work. He's going to come right back with a hit and run.
Well, it's Javier Baez. Couple of hits tonight and a stolen base.
Yeah, probably not the guy ideal hit and run. Too many swings and misses.
Joe Espada, third base coach here for Puerto Rico and the New York Yankees. The runner on first is Kike Hernandez, pinch running for Carlos Beltran. That one's upstairs, a ball and no strikes. Two stolen bases, two caught stealing last year for Kike Hernandez. And Baez skies one deep down the right field line. That maybe not so deep at all, but it'll reach the seats. Ballantine went into that wall hard. He's a little slow in getting up.
Well, it's got some padding. But it looked like maybe he banged his knee against the wall. He takes a quick look at the wall. Now he's trying to stop that big frame of his. It looked like he just jammed his knee against the padded wall there. Yeah, he said, I'm all right. Come too far. Not going to come out of this game tied in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Different angle to see what happened to the knee. He might have skidded too. Yeah. I think that was the other part of it. He tried to brace himself, and he had his eye on the wall for the last, 3, 4, 5 steps, but right there he skidded.
You can see you could see a part of the bottom of his shoes when he slid in. It's another change in the footwear these days that a lot of the players wear, like those plastic spikes instead of the metal spikes, and you don't get quite the traction.
So good news for the Dutch. Valentin will stay in the ballgame. He'd be due to bat 5th in the 9th inning. Both closers are looming in this one, as that one is fouled back and it gets a big piece of Zaraga rather. That's the second time he has been banged up in this one.
Yeah, if you missed it earlier, he took a foul ball right off the mask. And there's another one. Ouch. Yeah, that might cause him to make a change. He had an interesting debut in the big leagues. The Dodgers had veteran Carlos Ruiz as their backup catcher. Carlos got injured. Sean was down in their farm system. They needed to get him up here in a hurry, so they sent a private jet for him. So there he and the pilot, the only ones on a classy 12-seat private jet. Beats those buses in the minor leagues. There's Kenley Jansen, the closer for the Dodgers, and we mentioned back in 2009 was a catcher for the Dutch team. Charlie Huff, pitching coach in the Dodgers organization, credited for convincing him to change to a pitcher.
For all the familiarity that Kenley Jansen has in this ballpark, keep in mind, as the road team pitching for the Dutch, he's in the opposite bullpen that he's used to. Again, added to the roster before this championship round, and looks like Zaraga is going to stay in the ballgame. So on back-to-back pitches, the trainer has to come out and check on the right fielder Valentin, and now the catcher Zaraga, but both remain in the game. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Tie game, bottom 8, semifinal number 1 in LA. And Jansen looked like the only one warming down there for the Dutch. And it's, you know, the high leverage situations. When do you use them?
Well, you don't often bring your closer, we mentioned this before, into a tie game. Managers rather save him. But in this case, you know, if there's the lead run on second base, now Hensley knows he can only use him for 1 inning. He's not going to use him to get out of an inning, sit down, get up again. So that's why he's got him warming up, just to see, for example, if they get the lead run on third with 1 out, he's the guy that's capable of coming in and striking out a hitter.
And then the other closer also looming, Edwin Diaz. Now the other question would be is, would the Dodgers allow Kenley Jansen to work multiple innings?
No.
Exactly. So there's potential that he gets in here in the 8th, and then where do you go from there? Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Nice pitch by Stoifbergen. Aggressive swinger. Once you get ahead, you know he'll chase. And we mentioned Bert Blyleven had shown Stoifbergen how to throw a curveball, and that's what's enabled him to get back into baseball.
There's a look at Blyleven. They're doing the math, trying to figure this out. And Stoifbergen, who came on in the 7th, has registered a couple of strikeouts. Out towards center, back is Profar. We're headed to the 9th inning. Semifinal number 1, tied at 3. Paul Severino, Jim Cott back with you in Los Angeles. Semifinal number 1 tied at 3 in the ninth. Tomorrow, United States and the two-time champion Japan. Semifinal number 2, 6 o'clock local time here at Dodger Stadium. The winner of that game will face the winner of this game as we move to the ninth inning. 9-1-2 due up for the Dutch. Colleen Sams, Andrelton Simmons, and Xander Bogaerts. Joe Colon, who came in to get a big double play to end things in the 8th, is back out for the 9th. Bender in there for a called strike. Sam signed a minor league deal with the Mariners in 2006. Played in 520 affiliated games with the Mariners, Padres, and Rangers. Broke his bat on an excuse me swing, slow roller. 1 out, close play.
Yeah, he got down that line for a big man. Very fast. Couldn't get out of the box too good with that, knocking that bat out of his hand. Baez with a nice pick and a quick throw. Shattered it. Right at the trademark.
One down for the shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. Will be playing in this general vicinity in 2017. Lines a base hit to center field, and the Angels shortstop is aboard with 1 out in the ninth.
Plenty of base runners for both these teams. They each have 11 hits. Netherlands bullpen's done a great job, as is Puerto Rico. That one bell tie, middle of the plate. Simmons had a good look at it and a good swing at it.
Well, now it's Xander Bogaerts, who's been scuffling in this tournament, hitting just .238, and that's with a hit tonight. Didi Gregorius out. Perhaps a little extra pressure on guys like Bogaerts. Didi had driven in 8 runs for this team.
Wow. Nice company.
I've heard of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. 526 hits for Xander Bogaerts. Makes him move his feet. 2-0.
Diaz ready in the Puerto Rico bullpen. Another base runner I would expect we would see him. Kenley Jansen just sort of waiting to see what the Dutch do here.
Bogaerts begging with the home plate umpire Lance Barksdale, but that is strike 1.
Yeah, that's boy, hitters hate to do that. Check a swing on 2-0. Because 2-0, you got a hitter's count. You're either going to want to take a good full fluid swing or not swing at all. So you give up a strike on a check swing.
Two and one with Simmons away from first. Three and one.
Well, they've had a lot of hitters' counts.
Three 11-0 for the Dutch. 3-11-0 for Puerto Rico. Win and you play Wednesday for the WBC title.
Good pitch on 3-1, came with a breaking ball. And And you would think right here that Bam Bam would start the runner, try to stay out of the double play, get Profar up there, Profar.
Simmons goes up the middle. Baez is there. And double play. That's the second time we've seen that. A runner on the move and a ball right up the middle to make what could have been a base hit a double play. TJ Rivera gets to the bag before Bogarts. Bottom of the ninth on the way. Kenley Jansen coming in, 3-3.
That girl's gonna make me fall. She's into new sensations, new kicks in the candlelight. She's got new addictions for every day and night. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain.
He knows Dodger Stadium well. Kenley Jansen, the Dodgers closer, will come in for the Dutch and try to get this to extra innings. 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth. TJ Rivera with a swing and a miss. He was added for this round in their designated pitchers pool. 29-year-old closer with LA. Re-signed with the team 5 years, $86 million this offseason. But out there pitching for his country's colors tonight, and two big swings from Rivera, 0-2.
Quite a step up for being the catcher for the Dutch team 8 years ago. He's only worked a few innings in spring training this year, which is typical for closers. They might get enough throwing in on the side, but not a lot of innings in.
And now an 0-2 to Rivera, who homered in the second. I don't know if he ever had a chance in that at-bat. One away.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And the pitch that's made Kenley so effective is the pitch that the great Mariano Rivera featured for so many years. You see the little cutting action right at the end of that pitch. It goes away from a right-hand hitter just enough to take it under the bat.
And Jansen will see a pinch hitter here in Mike Aviles. Pinch hits for Raymond Fuentes, who was 0 for 3. 35-year-old in his third WBC. Takes a look at strike one. Well, if Puerto Rico can score a run in this inning, the ball game is over, and they will play Wednesday night. Second WBC in a row that they would find themselves in the championship game. For the Dutch, they're hoping that Jansen can get them to the 10th.
5 in a row. Right on the corner.
Five pitches, 5 strikes from Jansen. 6.
Now the big question, Paul, would be, you know, it's not often closers go 2 innings. And, of course, all these managers that have big league players have restrictions. There again, you see just a little cutting action up and in. 6 pitches. He gets out of this inning with, you know, 8 or 9 pitches. You got to say, well, man, we can send him out there again. At least you'd want to.
You'd want to, yeah, but I don't know if the Dodgers would allow that. So it's Angel Pagan. 2 for 9, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts against Jansen in his big league career. Well, the control is there.
Yeah. Gets anything off the top shelf. 7 in a row. The county fair.
All right, so he's human. That's good. Good to know. Originally signed as a catcher by the Dodgers in 2004. 189 saves and 2.20 ERA in 7 big league seasons. To second. Inning over. And we are headed to the 10th in LA.
Woke up in New York City in a funky cheap hotel. She took my heart and she took my money. She must have slipped me a sleeping pill. She never drinks the water, makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. You should make you go insane. Upside, inside out, living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. She's living la vida loca. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Come on! Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Upside, inside out, she's living la
Well, back in Los Angeles, and Kenley Jansen looks to be in mid-season form. 9 pitches.
A little talk with Bert Blyleven, and now he may be saying, "Hey, I'll be right back."
Well,
we'll see.
We shall see. Mike Avila stays in the ball game. He pinch hit last half inning. He stays in to play left. And Angel Pagan moves from left to center. New pitcher is Edwin Diaz, who blows one by Jurickson Profar.
One of the best averages per 9 innings, about 15 strikeouts. So tough to make contact with.
Just misses away. Diaz, 22-year-old closer of the Seattle Mariners. Be 23 by opening day. He was on the mound a few nights ago in San Diego, had a 6-3 lead. Gave up a few hits. Team USA, a big 2-run triple for Brandon Crawford. The tying run, though, was stranded at third. Diaz talking with Edwin Rodriguez before the game. It's just one of those situations where, you know, he's got great stuff, of course, but it's just the rhythm of being able to pitch, you know, every other day or whatever relievers are doing in the spring. It's one of the ways that this WBC is a little bit more difficult in that sense. 3-2 to Profar.
Yeah, viewers out there that are not familiar with the restrictions we talk about, you know, these big league players, they have a 162 game schedule ahead of them. They're in spring training, so organizations want to be careful to get them ready. So that's why they put restrictions, and that's why we may not see Kenley Jansen come out again for another inning, even though he only, I mean, I think he could do it very easily, but they're so overly protective, they may not allow him to do it.
Again, the 3-2, and Diaz gets the strikeout, one away. Vladimir Valentin got the scoring started in the first inning. This massive home run, his 4th of the tournament. After a walk in the 3rd, he doubled and scored in the 5th, and then through the right side for a hit in the 7th. So he's a triple short of the cycle. The home run, the double, the single. The hardest one remains.
Well, he had his pitch to hit. A little glare out at Edwin Diaz. Diaz is known for that very sharp slider. And he came at him with fastball on the first pitch, and he got by with it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, throw me that one again.
The 0-1.
Wow. Here it comes. Hit it if you can. Yeah, here it comes again. I don't know that he, I mean, Edwin is known for that put away slider, so Valentin may have had his 2 good pitches to hit.
Up and in, oh boy.
Little chin music.
All right, now Yadier Molina gets in the middle of it. Try to break things up. And now both benches, perhaps more so the Dutch side and the bullpens on the Dutch side, come out.
Well, that's a little high emotions. Yadier trying to calm him down, which is a good thing to do. Hitters are not accustomed to being, you know, move their feet, move off the plate. And if I'm pitching and a guy has 2 hacks like that at me, I mean, that's a little too high. You'd like to see it down around the armpits, but make him move them off the plate. Nothing wrong with that. You saw Valentin actually move into the pitch to start with. Now, it looked like there were some other position players jawing away, and now I think Correa is coming in to make sure, Edwin, don't be intimidated by that. Don't put something out over the plate that he can swing at. Should really be much ado about nothing. And now they're going to warn him, see, and then that takes the inside pitch away from both hitters. Dumbest rule in baseball. Or one of them.
And now Edwin Rodriguez wants an explanation. as to why.
CFA warned both benches, and then the pitcher, even by accident, would happen to throw one up and in. The umpire could actually eject him from the game.
If the umpire deems there's intent, and Javier Baez
inciting it a little bit.
Well, order restored. A 1-2. Strike 3.
Yeah, that's his signature pitch. In a good spot. Actually, he got him with the fastball again. Great pitch. Known for his slider, and teammates love it.
Might be March 20th, but it feels like mid-October here in LA. Jonathan Scope takes outside. Scope grounded out, struck out, walked and grounded out tonight.
Well, there's his pitch. Valentine had a couple of them. Scope had one. Hitters will say every at bat, I'll probably get one hittable pitch. And that was it. But of course, it's tough to get that barrel around on that lively fastball. Wow. He is a little different pitcher than we saw Saturday night. He got a little adrenaline going.
Swing and a miss. Diaz strikes out the side in the 10th inning. First Profar, then Valentine, and then Scope. Puerto Rico a chance to advance when we come back. Welcome back to Los Angeles. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning, right at the 4-hour mark here in semifinal number 1. Netherlands has already played in some lengthy games in this WBC. The longest, in fact, an 11-inning affair against Japan in round 2.
If they're watching over in Australia, it's just like watching cricket.
That's true. Absolutely. Luke Van Meel, all 7'1" of him. Tallest player to ever play professional baseball in the USA. 32 years old in his second WBC. Face Francisco Lindor, who takes outside, and Carlos Correa. Ooh. Kike Hernandez, who pinch hit for Carlos Beltran.
2 tough hitters to start him off with here. Only fitting with the NCAA tournament going on that we bring in a pitcher 7'1". Post him up.
That's right.
Well, he had a lot of promise back in 2005. The Twins signed him to reportedly a rather lengthy deal, but he never has pitched in the big leagues.
But lots of minor league experience. Twins, Angels, Indians, Reds from 2006 to 2013. And that's what's tough about this WBC, is that Kenley Jansen looked amazing. 2 strikeouts, 9 pitches. He retired the side in order in the 9th inning. But Hensley Mullins, hands are tied. And again, I don't want it to sound like it's a Dodgers thing. It's not a Dodgers thing. A lot of times, closers are not going to work multiple innings. And you might say, well, yeah, it's 9 pitches. It's 9 pitches, but it's the warm-up pitches in the bullpen. It's the 3 outs. It's the sitting down. It's the getting up. Broken bat through the right side. And that bat went into the Dutch dugout. Hope everybody's all right. Lindor's on to start the 10th.
Well, broken bat. Wanted it a little farther outside, but gets rewarded with a base hit. Boy, and it happens so often. Pitcher gets 2 strikes, the catcher calls time, says, let's go out and think this over. Put too many thoughts in your mind, bingo, base hit.
Looks like everybody's okay. Well, that's good. And now Carlos Correa will bat with Lindor on at first. Puerto Rico scores a run here. They play Wednesday for the WBC title for the 2nd consecutive tournament. Netherlands trying to get this thing to an 11th. Is there any thought to bunt with Correa?
I doubt it, especially with Kike Hernandez now that Beltran is out of the game. I certainly, guy with this kind of ability, I want him to try to drive the ball in the gap. Good pitch.
Correa hit a long home run in the 1st inning. A 2-run shot to, at that time, even things up. You can end it with 1 swing here in the 10th. Instead, he grounds to Simmons. Scope. Double play.
Well, about as routine as you'd want it from a Dutch standpoint. Not hit particularly hard, but right at Simmons. Plenty of time for Scope to make the return throw and to get out a dangerous hitter like Correa. Double play. Wow, huge.
And now Kike Hernandez will dig in. He pinch ran for Carlos Beltran back in the 8th. Now, if this gets to an 11th inning, that's where we'll see those extra inning rules put into place. Whoever is meant to lead off the inning will. The preceding 2 batters in the order will be on first and second. So, for example, if we get to the top of the 11th, Sean Zaraga will lead off. Vladimir Valentin will be at second. Jonathan Scope at first. Van Meel trying to get it there. 2-1.
There you see the rules where Valentin and Scope would be the base runners.
Netherlands has already played in an extra inning game with those rules in place as Kike Hernandez flies one out towards center. Coming in is Profar. We're off to the 11th. Tied at 3 here at Dodger Stadium.
If you proud to be Latino right now, stand the fuck up. Credible cuts, go. SBK. Hola, we coming up. Nina Sky, what's up, girls?
Nori and Dago.
Nori, Dago, Gemstar,
Big NATO.
a big NATO. Come on, come on. What you say?
Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano.
You see, this is what they want. They want reggaeton. What? They want reggaeton.
Esto lo que quieren, toma reggaetón,
Get.
toma reggaetón.
You see, I know we keep my story, I always kick it cat. When I bone shorty, I slap culo and this again.
Soy el tema estrella cuando canto lo que dicen. Una nalgada en el culo, ella grita.
What? You see, a body got a Rafael.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. Paul Severino and Jim Cott as we move to the top of the 11th inning. And things get a little bit different in the WBC once you get to the 11th inning. Edwin Rodriguez briefed on the situation. Manager for Puerto Rico. So what happens is the runners, in this case, the number 4 hitter Valentin is at second. Number 5 hitter Jonathan Scope is on at first. And, well, now it's not Sean Zaraga. Instead, Stein Van Meer, who bunts. And that's the situation. So you get whoever is supposed to lead off will lead off the inning. But the preceding runners are at first and second. So Stein Vandermeer, and this is where the strategy comes into play. And perhaps a little bit of an advantage for the road team because, as we saw in Japan bunted, scored some runs. Dutch, as it were, didn't have that same opportunity. They didn't want to burn outs. So they had to just go with it, and they ended up losing the game in extra innings.
Yeah, that's too bad. Bam Bam sends a guy up. I would assume that this guy, that he's a good bunter, Vandermeer, but never got the bat out in front of the plate. Had no chance to get that in fair territory. See if he takes it off now.
Edwin Diaz delivers an 0-2. They get the bunt down. Correa to third.
Nice play on an 0-2 pitch, and not an easy pitch to bunt. So Bam Bam said, hey, the guy's a good bunter. He's
as Japan did last week against the Netherlands. The home team doesn't really have that luxury of having outs to burn. They've got to put runs on the board and play catch up. So some would make the case that this extra inning rule actually favors the road team.
I could understand that, yeah.
So here's how it shook out when Japan and the Netherlands faced off last week in extra innings. Again, Japan lays down the bunt to get the out, and then Sho Nakata with a 2-run base hit in the left field, and then trailing by 2 runs, the Dutch unable to get anything across. So now the base is loaded as DeCaster takes first after the intentional walk. It's Kurt Smith.
What could come into play here, Bam Bam was signaling with his hands, get a big lead. Valentin, not good speed, so you could see Edwin Rodriguez has his middle infielders at like medium depth. So depending on how hard it's hit.
Kurt Smith on the ground, second, 1, first, double play. Well, defensively, that's exactly what you want.
Perfect execution after the great bunt by Vandermeer.
Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Para mi canto.
Para que sientan el encaje, brother, la pista muévase contra salvaje, yay. Sigue el grado y Yankee, give it to them, yay. Este es el flow que reina en la calle. Tommy Latino se lo bloquea, ahora stand up. Oye mi canto con minoría, ahora en dembow. Muévese, boom, 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 mami, no pierdas tiempo.
And it's the first time this ever been done, because there's never been a rapper do a reggaeton album, and he a veteran. Padrino, while laying in the casino, no matter your race, because today you're Latino.
Hey, Tommy Latino se lo bloquea, ahora stand up. Oye mi canto con minoría, ahora en dembow. Muévese, boom, 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 mami, no pierdas tiempo. Who's this?
Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Para mi canto.
Ven a ver lo que tengo yo para ti. Ya siento que sin ti no puedo vivir. Mami, mami, mami. Hey, hey, hey. Oye mi canto. Mira todo el mundo, mira yo le canto. Mira el saludo que a mi hermano le mando.
Puerto Rico has turned a double play in 4 of the last 5 innings, none bigger than the one they turned to end the top of the 11th. So now Puerto Rico has a chance. With these WBC rules beginning in the 11th, Carlos Correa begins the inning at second. Kike Hernandez, the runner, at first. Yadier Molina at the plate.
Yeah, and Yadi has not been a successful bunter. And we saw he had an opportunity earlier in this game, popped it up. He had a little conversation with Edwin Rodriguez as we look at this time when he tried to bunt in the 8th, popped it up into an out. Edwin Rodriguez came out, had a little chat with him. He is very adept at just hitting the ball the opposite way, like a little ground ball, which is all they need to stay out of a double play.
New catcher is Deshenko Ricardo. Luke Van Mill still out on the mound. Molinas pulls back the bunt, and it's 1-0. When you don't give up a run in the top of the inning, this is just absolutely no doubt to bunt. I think Hensley Mullins might have wanted that as a strike call instead.
They appealed to see if they called the strike. Edwin Rodriguez coming out just to make sure they didn't. Yeah, he shows bunt, but I think Yadi's versatile enough. He could, you know, pull that thing back and just chop it the other way. Big hole open between first and second.
Squares, lays it down. Bogarts, one away. But the winning run is now at third.
Well, failed in the 8th inning, but he couldn't have done that any better. Perfect bunt. Got the bat out front. Good position. Textbook.
And now you've got to walk Baez.
Well, you've got Baez, you got Rosario in the on-deck circle, a left-hand hitter. Yeah, you almost have to. It's the only chance you have. Try to set up a double play. The thing that I hesitated there for a moment is he's such a wild swinger. You could say, well, let's make him chase something, but then you put too much pressure on the catcher, so the percentage play is to walk Baez. Well, we said it could be a fun, exciting night with lots of action. 23 hits, only 6 runs, lots of bad base running, and fans have gotten their money's worth.
Without question.
And the vendors have made a lot of money.
Yes, they have. So it'll be Rosario with the bases loaded, 1 out. They just need 1 run. 1 run to get to Wednesday night and back to the WBC final. Rosario was extremely efficient, above league average, in fact, last year at getting the run home from third with less than 2 outs. 59% last year.
Boy, and that is such a big stat. I mentioned the other night, Lou Piniella, great manager for years, told me if I could get my hitters to knock the run in from third base with less than 2 out, a high percentage of time, will win the pennant easy. And so Puerto Rico has the right guy in the batter's box that's been doing that.
So the outfield will play in. Sams, Profar, and Ballantine left to right. Infield, Bogart, Simmons, Scope, and DeCaster, third to first.
Yeah, now they're playing in on the grass. See, Puerto Rico played their infield medium depth and got the ball hit right at them for a double play.
Van Mil to Rosario. Line to center. Profar there. Here comes the throw. And Puerto Rico is going back to the championship game.
Well, perfect execution with the bunt. Rosario got a pitch he could drive. Profar in a good position, but a little too long to throw. And Correa with enough speed to score the winning run. Like an Olympic sprinter.
Edwin Rodriguez just hoping it was hit deep enough.
Wow.
And it was.
That's about as much emotion as we've seen out of Edwin.
And out of Luke Van Mil.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the visiting team has the advantage. The Dutch couldn't cash it in, and so they allowed Puerto Rico to make the percentage play, bunt the winning runs over. Paid off.
They are still perfect in this WBC. 7-0. And we'll see them on Wednesday night against either the United States or Japan. And for as great a story as it's been for Puerto Rico, the Kingdom of the Netherlands deserves some love too.
Well, they had a great run, but all they can do after this game, and we've talked about it, it's just their base running. That took them out of the game. Right from the first inning, the slide at home plate by Jonathan Scope. They had every chance to win this game, and when you make that many mistakes, I mean, their relievers did a great job just keeping them in the game. But the base running mistakes early is what did them in.
So Puerto Rico gets the first spot in Wednesday's championship game. One more for them to try to duplicate what the Dominican Republic did in 2013, and that's run the table. Who will they face? That's the question. United States and Japan go at it tomorrow. Puerto Rico's done just about everything right in this tournament. They're hoping to do everything right for one more night. A sense of unfinished business in this WBC for them. Got to the doorstep of a title last time around. They'll try to knock that door down on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, semifinal number 2 of the 2017 World Baseball Classic. Team USA takes on two-time champion Japan for the right to play Puerto Rico. For Jim Cotton, our entire crew, I'm Paul Severino saying thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow night from LA, and we'll see Puerto Rico Wednesday in the championship game. Good night, everybody.